right. Let's see what's going on with this. There we go. Morning, everyone. We are allegedly live via Call2Com. We are also the link on Zoom. We're also live on YouTube. So like, comment, and subscribe over there. And it's Wednesday and life is wonderful. I don't know what else to tell you. It's Wednesday and life is wonderful. Really is. 2 days away from my in-person event. Can't believe that. It's like June felt like such a long way away in January. And now, look, here we are. Amazing. All right, welcome. Good morning. Gonna have a sip of chai. Hey, Pono, how are you? Thank you, Kelsan. Good morning. All right, seems like everything is working. Morning, Robin. So that's good news. Hi, Larry. Hello, everyone. Let me know if YouTube is rolling and if it's good over there. Good, thanks, Anne. All right, so a lot of ground to cover today. There's a lot going on. It's amazing what happens the week before an event. You know, it's amazing to see what happens the week before an event because it's always such a powerful time, right? For people who are coming, for people who are vicariously kind of getting that online. It's amazing to experience it. So to everyone who's coming, safe travels, and look forward to being with you in person. Friday morning will be here faster than you know it, and for some of you Friday evening and Saturday. So I hope you all make it in safe and sound and get rested. So this is going to be a bit of a weird monologue this morning because there's no easy way to share what I'm about to share with you, right? I'd like to start off by just pointing out the obvious. You don't show up here and hang out with the person every morning who experienced this light, this love, and this presence. Essentially the truth of who we all are in one form or another, unless you yourself had that same experience, right? It's like if you're a baseball fan, you're going to be drawn to people who love baseball. If you're a football fan, you're going to be drawn to people who love football. So the first thing is we have to acknowledge that there is a broader and greater reason and context for why you are here. And however you made it here is secondary, right? Some of you saw the Oprah interview. They keep re-airing it every Sunday. So more and more people see it and show up as a result of it. Some of you are here because of the book. Some of you are here because a friend told you to be here. Others of you were here because you just kind of stumbled upon me online, or more recently met me in a sports card store while I've been hunting for Pokemon and football cards for my 10-year-old twins. And most recently, the Jellycat store while I've been hunting for Jellycats for my 12-year-old daughters. And the fact that my 12-year-old daughters love Jellycats just makes my heart happy. Long may it continue. So basically, you're here because as a child, you too were totally aware, totally awake, and you were born this way. And you've stayed this way. So it's not that things haven't been happening around you, people aren't having experiences around you, people aren't, their lives aren't shifting around you. Of course they are, right? Of course they are. It's just that you haven't allowed yourself to acknowledge the fact that it's been happening. So for example, in my life, my whole life, basically born in a meditation room, had a meditation center in our home for the first 5 years of our life. I didn't leave the meditation room. I am the meditation room. And my whole life, even before any of you knew me, everything was happening anyway. It was all going on anyway. It's just that for whatever reason, I wasn't willing to acknowledge the fact that it was. So when in fact I had the experience that I had in 2002, 2003, where I just said, okay, fine, like if I'm here to do this, then you need to show me what all of this is about, because in the event that I don't experience it, I can't tell people that this is what's going on. There's no way that I can be that person. And I think that wasn't for me. It was so that I could be here with all of you. Because the problem was never me denying my own state of being. The problem for me was always, what does this mean in relationship to others in the world? What am I supposed to do? Go become a monk? Wear orange? Move into an ashram? Become a renunciant? Because that was the only version of it that I had seen. So the thing that I had to overcome was the illusion that it was something other than me just being the way that I am and living my life every day. And once you get that the thing that you're resisting is the thing that's already happening through you, let's just take a breath for a moment. The thing that you're resisting, so this light, this love, this presence, like all of a sudden you know what to say to people. You start to feel this wonderful love emanating out from you to other people. People feel comforted when they're with you. If they have any trauma or stuff going on, all of a sudden it starts to come into resolution. The more people spend time with you, the more they start to function and operate in a way that's in alignment with who they really are. Leave me a 1S in the chat if this is hitting home, right? If this is beginning to land. And this has been happening through your whole life. So, as demonstrated by the ones in the chat, you don't have a problem with that part. Like, that part is obvious to you because it's been happening, no matter how weird you think it is or how strange it is that people would come up to you and thank you or in some way recognize something about you. It's not weird because it's been happening your whole life. It's this weird thing that's been happening your whole life, right? Where it gets challenging for you, or where you get stuck, is in when you try and make this make sense in the context of your life. And I feel like this is because of a lack of modeling, right? So for example, in my life, nobody ever shown me that you could just be a civilian walking around living your life and all of this was just happening just through you being you and living your life, and that life would move you to where you're supposed to go and everything would just happen in whatever way it's supposed to happen. And really, it's just automatically all kind of unfolding. Also, for most of us, we didn't fit our own description. So some of you pivoted into techniques and modalities, forgetting that you are the technique and the modality. You are the modality. You're the avenue through which love and peace and presence makes itself known in this world, right? So for me, the qualifying experience that I had in 2002, 2003 of who I always was, of who I am, and what's always happening through me, wasn't for me. It was for me to get over the illusion that I had to be somebody other than myself in order to allow this to flow through me, in order to allow this love to be shared, the wisdom to, be expressed, all of a sudden just intuitively knowing what to say, being in the right place, supporting people, loving people, whatever, right? And the funny thing is that even though on whatever level I had some apprehension around it because I didn't want to perpetuate all of these hierarchical systems and structures and separation that it causes, because I'm just like all of you, really. It's a regular person living a regular life, and I could never get on board with all of that because why have any distance between our hearts? That's ridiculous. We're all the same. We all have the potential, right? So thank God that now in 2025, at the grand old age of 46, which is really not that old in the grand scheme of things, it's now finally okay to just be the very thing that I was born to be. Now, where it's been a bit weird for me, some of you have had this, maybe you haven't, is that all kinds of channelings, all kinds of intuitive information about me, people basically tapping into their interpretation of who I am and why I'm here. And quite honestly, that just makes it more weird, because you realize that even that's a trap. Like, all these labels and all these things that people say about you, or their interpretations based on their conditioning and their programming or their lens that they have in life. Not to say that it isn't true and it isn't real. It's just their perspective. So I'm saying all of this to say that I feel like at some point you just have to allow yourself to be what you are, to be who you are, to be the way that you are. And to realize that there's this component of life that's happening through you that may or may not be happening through other people, that just elevates everyone that you meet, that just liberates people, that somehow this thing that's just you naturally being yourself and authentically navigating your way through the world sets other people free. It offers them an entry point into loving themselves. It's not fixing, healing, changing, or improving. It's showing the world that it's okay to just be a regular human being living a regular life, to go through what we're going through, and that amazing things are happening through ordinary people, that extraordinary things can happen through ordinary people, right? Living ordinary lives. And that's really the future. Because if we think about it, like if all of this were part of a plan, let's say that all of this were architected and were part of a plan, the fastest way to reach everybody is to have ordinary people like you and I walking through the world, being who we are, allowing all of this love and this light, this presence, these experiences that we have, all of these shifts that people experience around us, stepping into it because we're accessible and we're available. If everyone were to actually, in some way, shape, or form, conform to some particular uniform or some thought process or some ideology or some belief, it would render the whole thing null and void. That's literally why we have a global community here that's as different can be. I mean, all over the world, different religions, different genders, different sexual orientations, different political affiliations, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different levels of education, you name it, different races, as diverse can be. I feel like we have the most diverse community of people ever be here. And yet the one commonality that unites us all is that we've all had this thing happening through us our entire lives that makes us feel weird, makes us feel awkward. People should come up to us and they can feel it, they can experience it. We're, for the most part, oblivious to it because it's just our natural state of being. So we don't know what effect our state has on other people. And also that all of the conditioned and programmed criteria that we've been presented with, we don't live up to. We don't meet all of the tried and tested, approved spiritual or religious standards of how someone is supposed to be. And so I feel like at some point you just have to come out the closet. Really. Honestly. Like, and this is the thing. It's like people are already experiencing amazing things when they're with you. People feel peaceful. People have all kinds of stuff go on inside of them. You know things. You know what to say. All of a sudden you show up. Someone's life starts shifting. Like at some point you just have to come out the closet, man. To yourself, right? Like, and this is the thing. It's okay because you can enjoy it in the confines of your home, and it's okay for you, but can we just please acknowledge the impact that you have in the world around you? And can we also recognize that it's not fixing, healing, changing, or improving? Literally every single one of you has a catalytic presence in this world. and you are catalyzing the individual in stepping into the totality of who they've come here to be. And that is a function of commitment, consistency, and repetition, and it is an end result of people just simply spending time with you. You are the technique and the modality. And so just see yourselves where you are right now, just kind of prying, your pinky finger out of the closet. Once that feels comfortable, see if you can lovingly extend the rest of your fingers out of the closet. And then maybe your hand. If that starts to feel comfortable, just allow your forearm, your elbow, your upper arm, your upper body to begin to peek out of the closet. And maybe your hips, your legs, until eventually you are out of the closet because you didn't fit your own description or criteria of what someone who makes a difference in this world is supposed to be like. I'm not going to lie, it's weird. Like when I used to do in-person events, people would come up to me and go, Panache, like prior to coming here, I was on the verge of committing suicide. Now that I've met you, there's hope and I want to live. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? It's strange. To this day, it's totally weird, right? When people thank you. Because you're oblivious. You're just being you. You don't know the impact or the difference that your presence has on people around you, right? That's why one of our offerings here is called Impact. Because you are the impact. You are the reason why we don't have techniques and modalities and a curriculum is because you are the technique and the modality. Your life is the curriculum. So after a while, this isn't about you being at peace with it. For the most part, it's so natural for you to be this way that there's nothing that you have to reconcile as it relates to yourself. But now, it's about you finally acknowledging that you matter, that you do love people, that you do somehow magically know what to say, that people, when they meet you, that they're not just meeting a person, they're meeting a presence, a consciousness, a love, call it whatever you want, an energy, and that this energy directly has an evolutionary potential attached to it. And the more people spend time with you, the more they step into it. And it doesn't matter how they spend time with you or what that looks like. It's just the fact that they spend time with you. And also, and here's the other part that's awkward for some of you, is the fact that you have to realize that it's your role to be that person who shows up in people's lives, and supports them. One of my favorite shows growing up was Highway to Heaven. I love that show. It's the best show ever. There was just an angel, he'd just show up in people's lives, and do angel things. And he had this kind of bumbling, random dude with him, wasn't an angel, just a regular human, who would help him, in his angelic unfolding. But isn't that what this is? Isn't this Highway to Heaven? Isn't that why we're here? Right? Minus the sidekick? Aren't you basically that angel? Aren't you that person? Doesn't your presence catalyze people? Doesn't your presence bring everything up in everyone that has to come up? So can you stop denying it now? Because you don't come here every morning and hang out with me unless you're just like me. Unless you have the same thing going on. And you see, I can't write you a permission slip and make it okay for you to be the way that you've been your whole life. At some point, you just have to make it okay that you've been the way that you've been your whole life. Because you've been that way your whole life. You know things, you see things, you feel things. All of a sudden, everything happens through you. People are catalyzed. Life happens. Everywhere you go, you can't switch it off. There's no dimmer switch. It's not a cell phone plan. It's happening all the time. So how about there is no criteria, there is no programming, there is no conditioning. It's showtime. And I'm sharing this with you to give you fair warning. It's June 4th right now. July, August, and September are going to be some of the most pivotal months we've ever experienced because we're finally going to allow ourselves to be the way we've always been. And I'm not just talking about, the human beings that we are. I'm talking about the greater potential that we've come here to deliver into the world, because everybody has that. And at some point, we have to allow it to be expressed and to recognize that it's not unique to us. It might be unique in the present in the way that it's expressed to people, because so few people are allowing them to consciously be who they are, being themselves, to be what they are, to live their lives in the way that they live their lives, that it's time to step into it. And so for me, I didn't need the confirmation of who I was and what was happening around me, because some of my earliest memories were just hanging out with people and then having them just become sparkly. So to assume that at 46 years old that's changed is ridiculous. No, I'm still just hanging out with people and they're still just becoming sparkly. There are just different avenues through which people get to hang out. That's all it is. And it's not fixing, healing, changing, or improving. It's finally getting people to a place where they can embrace who they are at the level of their humanity, so that they can start to access all this potential and all this other stuff that dwells within them. It's so obvious and so simple that it's lost on us. And we don't need other people's interpretations and perceptions of what that means, of what that's supposed to look like. Hopefully I've done a great job of blowing all of that up and throwing it all right out of the window. Because the truth is, it looks like you. Love looks like you. Last time I checked, love looked like you. Inspiration looks like you. Hope looks like you. Peace looks like you. So if that's actually what's going on, completion looks like you. So if that's what's going on through you, then don't you have an infinite value? Then why do you question your worth? Why do you ever question what you deserve to have in your life? At some point, you have to be willing to receive what is being done through you in this world. You have to. You have to, because it's ridiculous. You look like a duck, you walk like a duck, you quack like a duck. You're a bloody duck, innit? What is hard about this? So, we don't have to become monks. We don't have to change anything. We just finally need to let it be okay that inspiration and hope and love and compassion and empathy can be expressed through us. We just finally have to let it be okay. So, please, for the love of everything sacred, can we please just let it be okay today and stop pretending, come out of the bloody closet, and just recognize that all of these things that have been happening through you are still happening. You're still catalyzing people. You're still loving people. People are still going through things in expedited ways when they're around you. They're coming into contact with themselves, with their hearts, with who they really are when they're with you. Nothing's changed. I would just like you to finally acknowledge for the first time ever that it's happening. And not as a part of a technique or a modality. You are the technique. You are the modality. That's why you were made. That's why you came into being. So, it's time to get to a place where you recognize that this is the impact that you have on people around you. And, listen, sometimes it's going to bring up anger in people. Sometimes it's going to bring up other people's insecurities. Sometimes it's going to bring up their fear. Sometimes it's going to bring up their sadness or their grief. But this is your life. It's been happening around you the whole time anyway. So why not just finally be at peace with it? If I'm not mistaken, there's a very famous Mark Twain quote. The two most important days of your life are the day that you're born and the day that you find out why. And forgive me if I'm plagiarizing that quote. Well, can today be the day when you finally allow yourself to embrace the reason why you're here? I shared this yesterday in our accountability call. You're a screwdriver. And you just happen to be on a planet with people that have loose screws. We're not special. We're just the right tool at the right time, at the right moment in human history. And you're a screwdriver, and you just happen to be on a planet with 8 billion people who have a lot of loose screws. Do you see what I'm saying? So, you're the right person at the right moment in human history, and love is expressing itself through you in exactly the way that it needs to. And this is your potential. Can you please stop denying your potential? A Phillips screwdriver isn't weirded out by the fact that it perfectly performs its function. Right? A starhead. It doesn't have a problem, you know. So why do you? Why do you? You know, the difference between you and I is I can't hide. It's too painful. It's painful to deny who you are. It's painful to reject your purpose in this world. It's painful to pretend that you're not who you are and that what's happening isn't really happening, or to fluff it off or to deflect it. At some point, you finally just have to step into it. You just have to step into it. And this is why today's the day when you finally just come out the closet as the love that you are. And recognize that all of this stuff that's happening around you is because of the love that you are. And what's happening around you is none of your business. You're not even aware of it because you're just always you. You're just always the love that you are. You just can't deny it anymore. You can't have any attachment to it. You can't have any expectation around it. You just finally have to acknowledge it and be it. Because, by the way, you've been it your whole life. So, is it an accident that you clicked on this link today? No. Is it an accident that you showed up here? No. Are there any accidents? Absolutely not. Life is very much moving us around to where we need to be. So what's the likelihood that you click on a link every morning and hang out with someone who's experienced all of these things? Just a regular human being who's had some extraordinary experiences. Well, aren't you just a regular being who's here to deliver an extraordinary experience too? So do me a favor. Don't just come out of the closet today. Burn it down behind you. Best thing I ever did. Best thing I ever did. And by the way, everything that happens here is a function of commitment, consistency, and repetition. The more you're here, the more you're catalyzed. The more you're catalyzed, the more you're aligned with the truth of yourself. That's how it works. I don't make the rules. I've just seen it now. I've been here for long enough. 4 to 6 years of being the way that I am to recognize how it works. So there you have it. It's time to end your denial of something that you can't deny. And the reason why you can't deny it is because you were born this way. Born this way. So, Peggy. Oh, Laurel. Stop timing Om Shanti. What is that? What's the emoji? What's the emoji, Laurel? Screwdriver. Thank you. Very good. Very good. And day 1492, right, Laura Lynn? Amazing. Blimey. Okay. Close your eyes, you beautiful humans. Breathe and relax. Good morning, sweet friends, and welcome to another Call to Calm meditation. At some point, you have to stop denying who and what you are. Not just to the level of your humanity, but also all of this amazing love and potential that you've been displaying through you your entire life. You know things about people, you don't know how you know them. People start to have experiences when they're with you. They start to connect with the truth of themselves. You catalyze outcomes in people's lives, and you're not even doing anything. You're just being yourself and living your life. And as it stands on June 4th of 2025, being yourself and living your life is the delivery mechanism du jour through which an entire planet of people come to love themselves and are catalyzed into collaboration, harmony, and peace. So at some point you have to throw out every programmed and conditioned idea about how somebody needs to be in order to finally just bring the world into unity and harmony in the way that you've come here to do. And so today, my deepest wish for you is that you finally fully just allow yourself to be the totality of all that you are. Not just the human being with all of the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts and the beliefs and the body and the stuff that you go through, but also the love, the light, the presence, the intuition, the guidance, the support that flows through you and that has been expressing itself through you your entire life. Close your eyes, you beautiful human beings. Open your palms and take some long, deep cleansing breaths. Resting in the awareness of your breath transforms your life into a living meditation. Becoming aware of your every inhalation and exhalation. Today, seated where you are or laying down, just seeing yourself stepping out of the closet that you've put yourself in. And as you step out, all of a sudden this body and this form that you identify with begins to shift into one that's luminous. That as soon as you step out of this closet, you can no longer hide the light and the love that you are in this world. And I also want you to know that whether you step out of this closet or not, it doesn't change the fact that you are this light and this love in this world. It's going to happen anyway. So you are stepping out of this closet for yourself. You're not weird. You're not strange. You weren't randomly exposed to gamma radiation or dipped into a lake filled with immortal life force energy. You are a light, a love, a presence, and a possibility and a potential that is being remembered by your fellow human beings. So as you step out of this closet, or now as you're fully out, you begin to see yourself and experience yourself as the light and the love that's the truth of you. That, by the way, has been expressing itself through you. The compassion, the empathy, the intuition, the guidance. All of it. And you finally just say yes to it. You finally acknowledge that what's been happening through you has been happening through you your entire life, that there is no before and after. You were born this way. You've always known things. You've always seen things. You've always felt things. You've always communicated to people exactly what they needed to hear to help them. You've always had empathy and compassion for people, for the planet, for life. You've always loved people. You've always been of service. Things have always happened around you that you couldn't explain. None of this is new. Finally saying yes to it. Today, I'm finally ready to consciously acknowledge the impact that my presence has in this world. And it's not that I'm doing it. It's all being done through me. People stop suffering. People stop struggling. People move away from things that aren't loving, that aren't kind. People step away from disrespectful things. People leave behind lack and scarcity. Everywhere I go, there is evolution, expansion, innovation, ingenuity. And whether somebody can receive it or not, it doesn't matter. I can no longer deny who and what I am, why I'm here, and what the point of my life is. So seeing yourself, experiencing yourself, finally, maybe for the first time ever, as the highest manifestation of who and what you are, which is just pure love. and being at peace with it. Everywhere I go, there is a love, an empathy, a compassion, a power, a potential, and a presence that goes with me. Everywhere I am, no matter what the context, everyone around me is introduced to the possibility and the potential of that for themselves, so that they can remember it and embody it too. And being a human being, being exactly the way that I am, is what allows me to make the difference that I've come here to make in this world. Feeling yourself reunited with your joy because you're no longer in the closet in denial. Feeling yourself at peace in your body and your own skin because you're no longer denying the fact that you're an angel. And feeling your relationship with yourself finally shifting into one where you recognize that you have an infinite value and a worth. And that what's happening through you is not weird. It's not strange. You're just a part of a wave of human beings who've come here to show people that there's another way. You're not the first, but you will be the last. Because this time around, everyone's going to finally just come out of the closet. Continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath. Standing there in all of your luminous fabulosity, all sparkly and shiny, no longer denying the fact that you are the technique and the modality. Yay. Take some breaths. And just let me know how you're doing in the chat. And to whatever degree you let yourself out of this closet, is the degree to which you're going to feel peaceful and joyful and relieved. You see, our humanity is a doorway into our infinite potential. I haven't been having you all here just accept and embrace yourselves for no reason. I've been having you accept and embrace yourselves so that you can finally get to everything that's on the other side of all of the stuff that you've been accepting and embracing. And when you do, you'll finally realize that it was always there. That you were always this way. And yes, there may still be some fear or apprehension around it, but it's okay. It's especially okay when you know that you don't have to be anybody other than yourself in order to express all of these things. I know, and you know, and now you know that I know. That's enough. Right? It's like Spider-Man and that really cute chubby Asian kid who's his friend, who knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Is it an accident that I'm a chubby, cute Asian kid? Is it? I don't think so. You're my Spider-Man. You're my Spider-Woman. I'm the designated person that knows the truth about you. I'm good at keeping secrets. I won't tell anyone that you're Spider-Man or Spider-Woman. But what a relief to have someone know, finally, what you've always known. So just like I can't hide who I am from all of you, in that same way, you can't hide who you are from me. Every superhero needs a cute, chubby, funny, adorable sidekick who happens to be Asian. Happy to play the role. Happy to fill that slot in the cast list of your movie. Got it? Okay. All right, I feel better now. Do you feel better? I feel better. Isn't it a relief to come out of the closet? My God, what a relief. Phew. Thank God we're finally just allowing ourselves to be the way we always were. Oh, thank God. And listen, we're not special. We're just screwdrivers on a planet of people that have loose screws. So don't go getting all carried away with it. The right tool at the right time with the right purpose. It's showtime. It's time to show the world who you are, who you really are. The totality of the love that you are. And it's going to start this weekend at this event. And then it's going to ripple out from there all over the world. It'll complete through the end of this month, and then the next 3 months, July, August, and September, are going to be wild. Because you have severely been limiting your perception of yourself and what happens through you and around you. And it's time for that to end. So, sending you all my love. Thanks to everyone who was on the accountability call last night. Remember, if you're an impact, email Beverly if you're carrying on. I have a feeling the next quarter of impact is going to be the busiest and most dynamic quarter of impact we've ever had. So secure your spaces and places. And then also, if you are not an impact, then recognize that your time with me is not about fixing, healing, changing, or improving. It's about liberating and unleashing all of this love, light, and presence that was always within you. And finally stepping into the totality of it. So registration for everyone else for Impact will begin July 1st. Wishing you all a fantastic Wednesday. And just know that I know, you know, I know, and you know. Okay? Now get out there. Be an angel. And share your love. And do it while being authentically who you are. Have a great day. Oh. Group alignment session today. If you want to go deeper into this, I'll see you there. Group alignment sessions are semi-privates. And just people show up just to say thank you for what they've received, or they want to go deeper into it. Come this weekend, Nashville. Can't wait. Super excited to be with everybody. Still space. Go to the website. Impact registration is open for existing Impact members from now through July 1st. And then I think July 1st we pivot into everybody else who wants to join. There's an 85% retention rate in Impact for a reason. It is unlike anything else that you've ever done in your life. Take care, you beautiful beings, and I will see you somewhere soon. Be well.